Whatever, I know how the story goes. All right, so my friend, right, let's call him Rick, right? And he hooked up with my friend, let's call her Bella. Now, Rick is cool, man. Rick is cool. He just, I guess, socially awkward, or maybe just awkward with women in general. Which is fine, you know? But he acts like he's not. He always like, yeah, yo, let's go talk to these girls and all this. And I'm like, but you don't know how, so stop it. Oh, Fame, not everybody gonna talk to girls how you talk to girls. Let them talk, right? Let them talk, right? You don't know nothing, Fame? Okay. Now he hooks up with my friend Bella, right? Bella's dope. Bella's way doper than he is. Like, she is way out of his league. Like, not for nothing, she chose him, like, to hook up with. He did not have any say in the matter. Like, that's how serious her game is. So, back to the story. Fast forward a few weeks from that initial hookup, right? We're at an event. It's slightly out of town. We're staying in a hotel, and they hook up again, right? So I think it's like 9 o'clock when breakfast ends at 10. I come knocking on their door like, yo, we just came for breakfast. Y'all trying breakfast? Y'all sleep? What's up? Like, what y'all doing in here? Drawing. Oh, and Bella is no morning person. Like, anything before 9 a.m. she's like, get the fuck away from me. So me and a couple of my other friends, we come and invade his room. And we just, sitting there talking shit. And he's like, yo, breakfast is popping. I'm about to go downstairs and get breakfast. I'll be right back, right? She's still asleep, Bella. This man leaves Bella sleeping, goes downstairs, gets breakfast, eats his fill, and then brings some juice and an apple to bring up. So by the time he come back, she's up. And she looking at him like, oh, did you not bring me no breakfast? Rick is like, yo, I asked you to come to breakfast with me. You said you was asleep, so I thought you didn't want to go. You can have my apple, though. Toss it at her, right? She's like, what is this? I'm supposed to eat this? Whore apple? Mind you, breakfast is still going. Oh, and it's free. It's free breakfast, by the way. Do not get it twisted. The breakfast is free, made to order. And like, me and my other friends are sitting there making hits like, Rick, maybe you should go downstairs and get like a Danish or something, put it in a napkin, bring it up. Rick too cool for school. Nah, I ain't going back down there for what? She got the apple, she cool. Damn, Rick. Damn, you a pimp, son, or something. Except for a pimp usually gets the girl to go along with what he just said. She like, so you really not gonna give me breakfast? Like, that's how you gonna act? That's how you feel? What the fuck? So fast forward maybe a week. We're all meet up at the diner because we got things to discuss. But she's still peeved about this. Like, in the meantime, this dude is like talking to me like, yeah, I hope she don't fall in lust. Like, I hope I can just fuck her on a regular. Like, yo, she cool as shit. And I'm like, well, you certainly don't act like it. Pause the story for just a second. Gentlemen, if you have sex with a woman and you care if you have sex with her again, why not provide breakfast? So it's important to note that he wants this relationship to continue. Before I go further in the story. Now, Bella's very particular in this sense, and I've heard this before. Like, if she's eating with you and y'all are hanging out, you need to eat when she eats. So we're hanging out at the diner. I get food, Bella gets food, Rick, no food. And then we're like, yo, you want some of our stuff? They're like, no, I'm not hungry. She's like, it really bothers me when I'm eating with people and they don't eat. So can you get like a small little something, make me feel better about the situation? No, I said I'm not hungry. Why would I do that? Okay, Rick. So we discussed the things that we need to discuss, and we're still at the diner reminiscing about the event that we were at the week before. Having a good time, I can't believe this happened, blah, blah, blah. There was another girl there at the event. Let's call her Mercedes. So Rick and Mercedes had a conversation, like a rather private conversation at the event, right? So back to the diner, we sitting around laughing, having a good time, bringing stuff up from the event, and he's like, oh yeah, by the way, I totally could have smashed Mercedes. And I'm thinking to myself, dude, she's right here. You slept with her after the event. You talking about who else you could have been smashing? And he's wrong. Like, I'm like, yo, trust me, Mercedes don't want no parts of you. No, I think I could have smashed her, man. So I try to save it. She take over like, oh, I guess you just could have fucked anybody at that party, huh? Because your dick is so amazing, right? I'm like, yo, you you gotta chill. Like, yo, stop, please. Don't do this in front of me. And she's getting worked up. She's like, no, what you think I'm just some John? Like, and then she bring up the breakfast. And that's why you brought me that little whore apple, because you think I'm just some John. It just, like, yo. Like, she's snapping, and rightfully so. Like, he's not doing himself any favors. Like, I'm trying to help, but I can't help this nigga drown himself. Like, I'm not helping. Like, I'm out of it now. So you want to know how he tried to save it? He was like, yo, listen, chill. If it makes you feel any better, you were the best option there. And some of y'all thinking like, yo, this nigga is cold-blooded. Like, he's a savage. Like, he does this on the regular. No, not at all. Like, I'm stunned he's treating her this way because she's so far above him. And like, she's stunned. Like, really? Because what makes it so crazy is like, after he called her the best option, she's like getting mad and he's like, I'm sorry. And she's like, no, forget it. Let it go. Maybe not even 10 minutes later, right? We're talking about the weekend and she asked me what I was doing. And I was like, no, I got something to do. And he's like, oh, you free? And she's like, why? What if I am free? He was like, oh, I think me and you should link up. And she said, oh, like a date? Well, why I gotta be a date though? Let's pause the story right there. Let's cover a few little ground bases before we keep going further into the story, okay? You don't need to have a penis for this to apply, but if you're gonna ask someone on a date, be a fucking man. Say it's a date. Just, yo, listen, let's go out on a date. Like, you already fucking sinking in trouble and you gonna ask for the date. So you might as well say it like, yo, let me take you out. Like, maybe your swag will cover the damage. Also, this might be a personal thing. I don't think it's a good idea to call people you want to have sex with continuously the best option that night. Back to the story. She goes, are you asking me on a date or no? And he goes, I'm not saying it'd be a date. I'm just saying like me and you should like link up. Talking like a true fuck nigga. So she says no. So she starts going in on him like, oh, I guess I'm a whore. Just too much of a whore to take out on a date. I only get apples and link ups. So my route to save him, and I learned this from being a dad, is to just call him out on all the bullshit and let him be embarrassed. Cause she's just dragging this guy through the mud. Like, everything he does will come back to whore and back to the apple and back to the date thing. So I intervene like, yo, Rick, you fucking up all over the place, my man. You ain't getting no breakfast. You called her the best option. You talking about fucking Mercedes. You not eating right now. Like, you all fucked up. Not to mention you gonna ask for the date and then not ask for the date. So like, dude, you fucking up. Like, dude, I just want you to be quiet. Like, I'm tired of watching this train wreck. Like, please stop. Like, you must be having like an off day or something. Like, to like explain it to us. Like, tell me what's wrong. Like, what's up? What's up with you, man? Do you not see what's the problem here? This man, Rick, gave me the dumbest excuse I've ever heard. Yo, bro, I'm just high as shit, man. Don't pay me no mind. That's it. You high. That's why you acting a goddamn fool. I've acted way more civilized under way more powerful drugs. Like, after that statement, I didn't have anything to say. I was just embarrassed that he would even say that. And then she goes, you know what? Not for nothing. You will never get my pussy again. So yesterday, he told me I could tell the story. And I'm like, dude, it's not a good story. It makes you look really bad. He's like, no, I'm not bad. I'm just chill and dumb and hot. I don't have like a close off. Like, that shit just ended in tragedy, man. Like, it was bad. Like, it was bad. We just walked out quiet.